All righty. Can you guys hear me okay? Sorry I'm late. Went out to run some errands, and usually something that takes me about 40 minutes took me an hour and a half. I was pissed. Welcome in, everybody. Rain Dancer, Metal, Jill, Lisa, Beth. What is going on? Oh, yeah. Lisa says, can you imagine your kid calling and saying, hey, Dad, going to need your help? I would have said no. Man, that's a tough one. A lot of unsolved crime, a lot of unsolved murders could be resolved if these type of folks would just come forward. You know, brother, sister, mother, father, husband, wife, somebody with intimate knowledge, but they don't. And I don't know how to motivate them. But it is good to see everybody. Sorry, I didn't have time to set up my camera. Let's watch. This is the perp walk here. Let me share my screen. Yeah, this live stream's not going to be too long. Just wanted to hear what you guys have to say about it. And then later we'll hit the members meeting.
Why did you do it? Are you sorry for what happened? Did you know Savannah was 9 months pregnant?
And it was kind of crazy to see this. We all kind of knew that was probably somebody's father, you know, somebody that was showing up to help. Just by what we could see in the CCTV security footage, you know, you got somebody popping out of the truck that looks like he just woke up, and somebody in the passenger seat throwing him a towel. So who's that? Whoever that is guilty too. So where are they?
She was 9 months pregnant. What do you have to say to her family? Do you have to say to your
¿Quién
father?
mató a Savannah?
About your
¿Quién mató a
side.
Savannah?
¿Quién te ayudó? Hey guys, we're going this way.
¿Quién mató a Savannah?
¿Lo hiciste solo? ¿Te arrepientes?
Good to see you, Cindy.
Anything to say to your family?
What's up, Beth?
Anything to say about the charges?
Sensei. Maybe he didn't know what he had done at that point.
Sorry?
They want to know why. Why?
Well, he's charged with messing with the corpse too. So he knew he helped. So this probably happened somewhere other than the vehicle. And he must have helped stage that crime scene. He moved and staged the bodies.
¿Qué te hizo hacerlo? You sorry?
Did you do it? Why did you do it?
Did you know she was pregnant? That's what you say? Huh? Did you check?
Why was it the whole family?
Yeah, Jason, that's what I was just referring to. Jason says, I don't like how law enforcement says this is only 2 suspects. What about the other person in the truck? Exactly. Unless that's the person that said something. You never know. But yeah, they definitely are involved in this as well.
Close to Christmas? Remorse? Anything? Why, man? Any remorse? You sorry?
Would you sorry for lying about what you're saying? I don't know what's going on.
Well, tell us.
Did you hear what he said? He says, what do I need to be sorry for? I don't even know what's going on. So he's playing dumb right now. He's not being remorseful.
Tell us. What's going on?
Did you shoot them?
How did you kill them?
Are you in the
Unborn
video?
baby.
Did you kill them or did you just hide the evidence?
How'd you know
Beth is asking y'all think it was the mom that threw him the towel. I mean, that's what it would seem like.
You sorry? Who killed them?
This
If it
dude's just
wasn't
like,
you, who
man, I
was
should have
it?
never had kids.
¿Quién te ayudó? ¿Quién te ayudó? Esta es su última oportunidad para decir algo. Excuse me, guys. Closing door. Excuse me.
Homie the clown. I don't know, but they need to be held accountable. Yeah, and at first when I saw this, I thought it was a girl. I thought this was a girl who didn't have any makeup on and might have been woken up in the middle of the night. Doesn't it look like a girl? Like, what the hell?
Did you do it? Are you involved?
But that's his son.
Are you sorry you killed him? Did you just hide the
I
evidence?
didn't say your family.
How did he kill an unborn baby? Was it you?
What do you say your family? Savannah, not his family. Anything to say to the
You
family?
sorry? You sorry? The message
No,
to the
I'm saying
family.
an unborn child. It was an entire family.
You sorry?
Yeah, metal. There's a lot of construction going on by me. Sucks. What's up, Anthony? I think I have some more. Let me see what else I have.
Why did you do it? Are you sorry for what happened? Did you know Savannah was 9 months pregnant?
I will always think of you, sir.
God, I hate this mouse. Got one of those ergonomic ones and it sucks. Now, this is the suspect's home, and apparently this is right up the street from those apartments. And there sits, I don't know, that might be like a dark gray. Not sure what's going on with that. There's the truck. Yeah, so right around the corner, apparently, from where the vehicle was found. Here, we'll watch that again with no sound. Oh, that's horrible, CJK. That happened at a job I was working at. Somebody was on their way to hurt a loved one. They had it all planned out. Apparently, they were going to commit a murder. I think it was their wife or their girlfriend. And they just happened to pull into the business I was working at the time. And instead of hurting others, decided to take their own life before they hurt anybody. Right there in the middle of the parking lot, this body laid with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. It was crazy. And a buddy of mine had committed suicide about 2 weeks prior to that. It was a guy I grew up with who also worked for the same company. And we were supposed to go golfing the next day, but apparently he got into a fight with his girlfriend and something happened and he hung himself. So when that happened and I saw the body, I kind of had like PTSD from it. Like brought back all those weird emotions. So yeah, this is going to be a really super quick live stream. I just wanted to hear what you guys had to say about this. I wanted to talk about it yesterday, but I was so damn busy. Thank you, Beth. Cocktail dress. Welcome in. What's up, Silas? Patricia. Off subject, but guess Richard Allen won't attend his next hearing. Well, he should be at the Supreme Court at some point here soon. If not today, maybe. And I bet you guys didn't realize how many short Mexicans had them big beer bellies, huh? It's pretty common. I was definitely well on my way. What's up, Frank? But yeah, they made an arrest. Can you guys believe that? That was quick. We called it. I mean, we said we were expecting an arrest. I mean, we said it. With that security footage and all of the shenanigans that Matthew and Savannah were up to, living that young, fast life. I don't know how this guy ties into it. It's Ramon Preciado, 53, and Christopher Preciado, 19 years old. Ruined 3 lives and 2 on his own side. What the fuck? What's up, Donna? I'm having a great day. What's up, Jerry? One more fall says, yeah, the perp walk was weird. You'd think Texas would have learned a lesson from back in 1963. Are you talking about Dallas? JFK? Well, that's not. Yeah. Cut his hair. Have you ever seen reporters be able to get so close to arrestee? Yeah, I mean, it's all right. It's all right to get that close. It's up to law enforcement to barricade anything. Same with the crime scene. That's why they have police tape. Because, I mean, as long as you're on public property, anything you can see with your eyes, you have access to. It's up to them to create the privacy. That's why they use police tape. But here, yeah, a lot of places they'll allow that. Cindy says that person snitched. I mean, you would think, why aren't they in handcuffs? Whoever that was in the passenger seat who threw the towel, I mean, aren't they an accessory as well? I mean, what happened to them? An obstruction charge at the very least. And I understand as a parent, you wanting to help your kid out. But when you show up to that crime scene and you see a pregnant mother there, how do you just not break his neck? I don't know. I feel like I would grab him by his neck. Like, how could you do this? I think that's how the cops would find me, probably. I mean, we all say what we will and won't do. We all talk about what we will and won't do. I'm looking for something. Bear with me here. And don't worry, this isn't going to be a very long. Yeah, that kind of reminds me of what Jeff Buziak said when we were covering his daughter's case. He talks about all the different people he's kind of spoken with, and they all say the same thing. Oh, God, kill that son of a bitch. If he did that to my daughter, if I found out who did that to my daughter, I'd kill that son of a bitch. He says they all say the same thing. It's just not the way it works, you guys. It's just not that easy. Pop that back up there. See, looks like the most up-to-date report is coming from Court TV. I guess we could watch that if you guys want to. No, here's a newer one. This one's 3 hours old.
Welcome back. Now to the big breaking news out of Texas that we continue following. 2 arrests have been made for the murders of pregnant teenager Savannah Soto and her boyfriend. The San Antonio Police Department announcing early this morning that 19-year-old Christopher Preciado and his father, Ramon Preciado, have been arrested for the murders of Savannah Soto and her boyfriend, Matthew Guerra. Now, police believe that Christopher, the son, is the one who did the murders.
Okay, so I'm looking for the motive. Do we know what happened? Does anybody in chat really know the details yet?
That's what they believe, and they believe his father just helped him after the fact moving the body. So their charges are different. Son charged with murder, dad charged with abuse of a corpse. Now, Savannah Soto was last seen in mid-December, one day before.
Yeah, that's a good point, Anthony. Anthony says in the video they thought it was a girl. Guess the long hair. Yep. I thought the person had on a hat, like a backwards hat. And I thought people were trying to say that the fat guy had long hair.
Before she was scheduled to be induced. She and her boyfriend's remains were found days later inside of his Kia Optima. We've been looking at that video since then. It's been quite puzzling. Police are saying this morning that they believe the murders are the result of a drug deal that turned deadly. I have 2.
So they must have gone through the cell phones and seen some kind of communication or found something.
Great guest on the program to help me break this all down. Still with me, retired NYPD deputy inspector and the author of the book Once a Cop, Corey Pegues. And want to welcome in retired FBI special agent Jennifer Coffendorfer. Great to see you both this morning. Thank you for being here. Oh boy.
What up?
There has been some speculation that this might have been
Super
a
Wolf.
drug deal that went unexpectedly awry and turned fatal.
I just don't understand how a drug deal leads to the murder of a pregnant woman. I mean, I want to hear what he has to say. I want to hear what this Christopher person has to say about that.
Jennifer, I know you've been following this very, very closely. I enjoy
Thanks,
following you
Cindy.
on Twitter or X always. But, you know, you've been analyzing this one. Tell me, was this what you expected investigators to find here? Why or why not, please?
Thanks, Lynn.
Yes, I expected it to have to do with a drug deal gone bad. I think I said that very early, likely
We'll find that.
gang related in terms of the players involved. Clearly, when we hear the words, you know, a botched drug deal gone bad, what does that mean? What that means is that
It's a robbery.
somebody wasn't living up to their end of the bargain. Either the amount of drugs being sold was off or the money that was being brought was off. One of those two things. And this isn't just like purchasing, you know, vitamins from your, you know, your girlfriend next door. This turns deadly and can turn deadly. First of all, it was late at night. I would believe, even though we'll never know, but likely Mr. Preciado was likely under the influence. So you have people who are under the influence dealing with one another. And then you also have that street cred, you know, the disrespect that when this drug deal went wrong, went down and turned deadly.
Right, Jennifer, great points. I have a clip I want to play, and Corey, I'm coming to you next after this, please. This is a clip of Savannah Soto's mother, who joined closing arguments with Vinnie Politan last night, and she did the interview with Vinnie before the announcement of the arrest. So that came later. But here in this clip, she's talking about Savannah's relationship with her boyfriend, Matthew Guerra. And of course, many of us are wondering, did anybody know that this was going on, that he was into these dealings, apparently? Let's watch.
Hold on real quick. Sorry, I couldn't find that, Lynn. Is there any way you could post the link? I would like to hear them read that affidavit. I went through all the news there and I couldn't find it. So if somebody wants to email me, or if one of the mods can link that.
They had a kind of like a little rough relationship in the beginning.
Anthony says, I figured this was a drug robbery from the get. Don't show your shit on Facebook and brag. Well, the thing is, in that game, I know a lot about that game. As a youngster, I was way too close to that. And what happens is your friends become enemies and they become jealous. You know, you start stealing each other's customers. You see your friends fighting amongst friends. And that's what happened to a group of my friends. You had one, at one point they were friends, and we're talking early 20s, right out of high school. And some people are in college. These guys decided to sell pot. And before you know it, there's jealousy, people stealing customers, and now they're, mortal enemies. So it's not even that you're posting this on Facebook, this and that. It's just that money and the devil, the devil's there right in the middle of it all. And when you can stack $100 bills 2 feet tall in a pile up against the wall, hundreds, 20s, and 50s, and you're only 20 years old or 16, anywhere between 60 and 20 years old is basically when it started happening. From what I saw anyway, what I experienced, money will make you do strange things.
She said it was getting better. They were both looking for the baby, and we had a baby shower for her. They were there, and opening the gifts, all excited, playing games. It was like,
Thanks, Lynn. I'm pulling it up now.
Couple. I mean, about his, private. I don't really know anything about him, but I mean, my daughter was happy with him.
She said she didn't really know anything about him, so who knows the extent of what she knew or didn't know about these activities. Corey Geese, you have such unique experience because you retired from the NYPD, many years of service. It's a high rank, and your story, I have.
All right, we'll come back to this one. Let me pull this up.
Are you sorry for what happened? Did you know she was pregnant?
Oh, always fake news, huh?
Fake news.
This is your final chance to say something about your side.
Hey guys, we're going this way.
Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Yeah, guys, always one sided. You don't even know what's going on.
Back up, guys. Back up. You message for the family? You sorry?
They want to know why. Why did you do that?
Hold on. Bear with me.
Why did you do it?
Did you know she was pregnant? Huh? Did you hear?
Why was it the whole family?
Close to Christmas?
So apparently they're going to read the affidavit here in a minute.
Why, man? Any remorse?
Thanks, Lynn.
Sorry?
Aren't you sorry for lying about what you're saying? You don't even know what's going on.
He says, aren't you sorry for lying about what you're saying?
What's going on? Did you shoot them?
An unborn baby. Did you kill them or did you just hide the evidence?
How'd you know Savannah? You sorry?
If it wasn't you, who was it then?
Closing door. Excuse me. Excuse me, guys.
Video's a little glitchy on their side. That's a good point. CJ says, makes you wonder if they celebrated Christmas and New Year's Eve like nothing
Are you
happened.
sorry for what happened?
Yeah, they probably did.
Anything to say to your family? How does it make you feel, an unborn baby? What do you want to say to your family, to Savannah, to
It's a
Matthew,
cold-blooded
Savannah?
SOB right there if he did it.
You sorry? You sorry? What message do you have
Nothing
for
to
the family?
say, an unborn child.
It was an entire family.
Yeah, he killed a whole family.
You sorry?
Periwinkle, apparently a drug deal was at the heart of it anyway. Sensei says, I can find this one quite difficult. Of course, I sympathize and don't condone what happened to the victims. But we be so sympathetic. Their drug pushing killed our loved ones. Lisa says, when the heavy guy did his perp walk, I kept thinking of Shawshank Redemption and its fat ass by a nose. And it's fat ass by a nose.
Good evening, everyone. I'm
I don't belong here.
Moscoso, WASHINGTON MOSCOSO.
It's going to
So
be
the
Matthew
individuals you saw this evening, the first individual's name is Ramon
or Christopher. Sorry.
Preciado, 53 years old, SID number 443651. The second individual was Christopher Preciado, 19 years old, SID number 1191061. So the two individuals we just walked out today, again, is a father and son. The first individual is a father. The second individual is a son. They're going to be charged. The son's going to be charged this evening with capital murder, and the father's going to be charged with abuse of a corpse.
Yeah, so
I'm not gonna
he
go into
helped
the
with
whole
the
thing.
staging.
We all know what kind of led us to this to where we are today. I will say that
No, Boston, but we were talking about that.
When the bodies were discovered on Danny Kaye, obviously the investigators made that location and started collecting evidence. One of the key pieces of evidence that we did collect at the scene, cell phone, and so our technology team who was on there.
I don't know why that's so glitchy.
Information, and so that information was given to our detectives today. With that information, the detectives were able to find a possible location of
Last Great
where
Superwolf.
the suspect
I like that
vehicle
name.
that was released on that
Yeah, I'm so happy they got him.
Video, possible location where that suspect.
Anybody that can kill a pregnant woman and her, they're basically an entire family like that, they got a long road of pain ahead of them that they plan to cause.
Vehicle might be. They made that location. And
they caught him and they got him fast.
There. They did a little bit of surveillance on the video.
Good job, San Antonio.
Vehicle, and then were able to determine which house it belonged to. They went up, knocked on the door. The first gentleman, the first individual, the father answered the door. He knew why the police were there.
Let's go to Sylvia's comment here. I thought the couple went to his house. I was thinking they got murdered there at the killer's house. Yeah, that's possible. Maybe they went there, they met. Something went wrong. This person got really upset and killed him and was like, oh, now what do I do? Father comes home, or he calls the father and his parents like, I messed up. I need help. This was the best way that they knew how to help him.
Was cooperated fully with the investigation. We're right here to headquarters, and our detectives were able to start interviewing both the son and the father. Again, they were both at the home. They were both brought down here, and the interrogations began. Through interrogating the individuals, our detectives had enough based on what they said, there was
Probable
enough
cause.
information there to get a warrant signed by a judge tonight. Again, to charge Christopher with capital murder and Ramon with abuse of a corpse. Again, there will be more charges pending. This is what we have right now. I'll answer any questions, Jamal.
What's up, True Crime Time?
Yes, yes. And so I want to touch base on something real quick. Since the release of the video that we put out on the 28th, there has been, internet has blown up with people sending tips and people just sending misinformation. There's a lot of misinformation out there. These two individuals are the only suspects that we were looking for. They were arrested. There were many names being thrown around on the internet.
Every fat man in San Antonio got a call. Is this your belly? No, my belly was over here. Okay.
Those people had nothing to do with this.
Let's go to this comment. Welcome in, Cynthia Lister. Did the father bond out this morning? That's a good question. Does anybody know that? I mean, with his charges, he would be able to. And if he owns a business, he only needs 10% cash. So it may be possible.
Vetted them and everything. They didn't have anything to do with these murderers. So the individual, again, Christopher, we believe committed.
So did I, Wolf. So did I.
And Savannah, and then Ramon.
When I saw her, I was like, oh, wow, it really is that girl. Because I thought it was the girl that everybody thought it was. The suspect or whatever. The misinformation that this officer's talking about. When I saw this Christopher Preciado, I was like, oh, wow, it is the girl and her stepdad or whatever. But no, that's a guy, and it's another fat man.
Helped kind of dump the button. It appears to be a narcotic-related deal that went bad.
Do we know the connection between this father
Narcotic?
and son, Matthew and Savannah, or the connection to the apartment complex?
I thought he sold pot.
Well, there's no apparent connection to the apartment complex. It's just a place
Maybe
where they
pills
want to
too.
Dispose or hide the vehicle with the bodies in it, and it appears that it was a drug deal. So there was like a drug connection to the suspect and the two victims. It's just when you hiding the body, moving the body after discovering that and all that kind of stuff.
Staging.
December 21st, which is a Thursday, just before midnight, is when the actual murders took place. On that. Mm-hmm. Right. So like I said, there's going to be possible charges pending. More charges
Anthony.
pending. Our detectives are going to talk with the Bexar County DA to determine if they're going to be any charges facing any charges related to the unborn baby.
Savannah's phone had a bunch of stuff on it, huh?
I didn't have that information from the medical examiners. I know that she was scheduled to be induced, and she didn't make her appointment, which is why the family went to the police to file the missing persons report.
Did he say where exactly they killed her?
I don't have exactly location. We just know that they were killed at a different location and then taken to the apartment complex to dispose of the vehicle and the bodies. But there were some Spanish questions I wanted to knock out real quick.
Sí, podría darnos un resumen pequeño para la audiencia hispana de estas personas que presentó.
Yeah, they're asking about the other person. The other person in the truck.
Sí, esta noche el primer señor que salió es Ramon Preciado, de 53 años, y el segundo es Christopher Preciado, de 19 años. Christopher Preciado es el
Me too, Cynthia. With like a white logo on it, right? That's what I thought too.
Y su papá y las víctimas. Sí. Ajá.
¿Había motivo para matarlos?
Parece que había una transacción de drogas que no fue.
Thank you, Lisa.
Que fue mal. La transacción de drogas fue mal y resultó en la muerte de las dos víctimas.
That's a good question. CJK says, I'm waiting to hear if they were physically removed from their apartment or if it was supposed to be quick deal. Hence why Savannah went along, no phone, candle burning, and the apartment. Yeah, maybe they were just getting ready to go to the appointment. They lit the candle, as a prayer, watch over us, safekeeping. And they were going to do a quick deal. But I do know that if anybody was looking at this case online and getting kind of wrapped up in all those conspiracies, there was talk of a neighbor apparently who saw them being forcefully taken out of their apartment and kidnapped into like a Cadillac or something. So I think that's a lot of the misinformation that this guy was referring to.
Well, I mean, someone was buying and someone was selling, so it was a drug.
Can anyone be charged with these murders through the accomplice theory or the multiple parties theory?
I'm sorry, who?
Ramon, the dad, could he be charged with the murders as well through an accomplice theory?
No, he was not. He was not there during the commission of the murder. He was called afterwards to help dispose or help his son. I'm sorry.
So it doesn't sound like it was planned.
Christopher has no previous criminal history, and Ramon did have a small. He had some prior criminal history.
So, are you all done looking for suspects at this
Yeah,
point?
we don't have any other suspects that we're looking.
What the hell?
That surveillance video, were they alive during that surveillance video?
They were not alive. No.
Last question, guys.
Okay.
Christopher killed them, then moved the bodies to the car.
Correct. Well, I mean, I don't know if you moved them into the vehicle.
Yes, you do.
The vehicle with the.
He's not going to
body
answer that
in
question.
Was driven to that apartment complex. It didn't happen at that apartment complex.
So ultimately, who's going to make the decision on
I mean, there would be blood everywhere, broken windows.
So our detective again.
Those people
tonight
wouldn't
are
even want to
charging
get in
them
that car.
with capital. Christopher with capital murder, and Ramon with abuse of a corpse. They are working on some other charges that they're going to file. But regarding, I think specifically the question that you had about the unborn baby, they're going to have a conversation with the DA to determine whether they can charge.
It's like a nightmare
the baby as another victim on this.
for drugs.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a collaboration. With
I mean, it was probably
with our
maybe
DA's
at the
office.
most a couple thousand, maybe $10,000.
Our detectives are going to do everything they can to bring justice to the family.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Crazy. All right, guys, we're going to hang out another 5-10 minutes. And then we're going to get out of here. Thanks for sharing that, Lynn. We're going to go back to this video.
Mad respect for when you were young, and you talk openly about this. You talk about it in your book. When you were young, before you went into the military and became a police.
Oh, let's go to Sylvia. Why didn't they take the mother into custody? She was the one who whipped the towel out. Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, she obviously knew what was going on. Why are you throwing him a towel? Well, it's because you know that you need to help. By throwing that towel, you are now helping. Here is a towel for you to wipe your fingerprints. That's got to be a criminal act.
Police officer, you were on the streets dealing drugs. And so you have a really interesting perspective of the dangers of it. And for anybody who might think, oh, I can dabble in this or be associated with someone dabbling in it or have a family member associated with it, these risks are of fatal incidents.
Let's go to this comment here. Cynthia Lister says court documents say it happened outside the father's home. Maybe in the backyard or something. Like, oh, come on in. Let's do this deal. Yeah, we're going to do this deal real quick, and then we're going to go to the hospital. Okay, well, you're short. Where's the rest of it? Or you don't have enough money. Or maybe even here's half. Give me everything, and I'll give you the other half in a day or two. No, we're not doing that. And then they try to leave. Something that really pissed this guy off. Yeah, he must have been a really bad guy. And his temper reached a boiling temperature. and he snapped. He's like, "Oh wow, what did I do? Now I need help." You know.
Are very, very real. Are they not? Would you speak to that, please, Corey?
Oh, it's very real. Being in the street is either dead or in jail. So, I call an old drug dealer. If you got more than 5 years, then you're like ancient. Usually, if you get in 2 to 3 years out there selling drugs, you made a little money, you better escape. Because now, cops are just using this thing right here. They're solving crimes very quickly. Let me just touch
And
on one
that's
of
why
the
these
things the
criminals
mother
use
said.
burner phones
I was
now.
uncomfortable with her saying there was a normal relationship. Well, I don't know what's normal with her daughter being in this relationship with this known drug dealer. I think they had a domestic violence history, if I'm not mistaken. And you have to know what your children are doing. I remember when my 2 older daughters were teenagers and they wanted locks on the bedroom door. And I was like, you're not paying no rent. What do you mean locks on the door? You can't, no bedrooms have locks on them.
Thanks,
and I
Lynn.
used to put money in the dresser. So they knew that I was going through their dresser drawer or I was going through their book bag. Like, you have to know what your children are doing. So I don't think it's anything normal with somebody dealing with somebody who has a violent past and also assaulted the child at one time.
Let's go to this comment. Anthony says, when I was younger and doing dumb stuff, I got robbed. My close friend and cousin made it look like a break-in. My cousin was living with me at the time. You can't trust people ever in that game. Never, you can't. I've had guns put to my head. I've been shot at multiple times as a young kid from the ages 14 up to about 24. I had experienced a lot of stuff like that. And I've seen some snaky shit. I have. I've seen people who thought they wanted to be drug dealers get involved with some really dangerous people only to get busted by the police and then provide a little bit of information and then to get a visit by homicide detectives later saying that they're on a list of people that are going to be killed by the Mexican mafia for snitching. So imagine living your life like that. So it's no joke.
I love that. I love what you said there. And let's keep going on this point. I mean, look, this is so sad that these young people lost their lives, that unborn baby, killed. Also, I'm sure we could expect charges coming with respect to the baby that hadn't been born yet. But tell me, what can parents do? If somebody's watching this program this morning, we know that drug use, drug dealing, sadly, it's very common. We have a lot of problems in our country with it. I don't have to tell you both that What advice do you have for any parents who might suspect something's
Periwinkle's asking, was the father there when it happened? According to the affidavit and according to law enforcement, no, he was not there when it happened. Christopher Preciado, 19, during the commission of a drug exchange or something to do with a drug deal, committed the murders and then called his father, Ramon Preciado, who's 53, to come and help. And that's what he's being charged with. And I wonder if that's what happened with the Delphi case. Maybe he didn't plan to kill and had to call the only folks that knew about him being there to come help assist with the cover-up, the moving and the staging of the bodies.
going on with the kids? Jennifer, let me go back to you on that point, please.
Well, it becomes very difficult, especially in this situation where your child is 18 years old, like Savannah was. So she's really a grown adult, if you will, legally. But I think all you can do really early on is show
I think it was
show discipline and show extreme love. And those two usually make a combination for keeping children out of this. But I'm one to surveil. I'm one to know exactly what my children are doing. I definitely
let's go to, what was that, Shaboogies? Boogies? She boogies? She likes to boogie. She likes to get down. Says, I have a feeling this 19-year-old just wanted to kill someone. And we don't know what was going on with this dude. He could have been under some stress. Maybe some folks were after him. and it was the end of the line for him. And if this deal didn't go right or go a specific way, maybe it was his life. Not sure. Zar 81. What's up? Hey, Sleuth. They posted the Facebook 1224, their air conditioning business, Almighty Air Conditioning Service. That's his business. Yeah, he might have bonded out. I wonder how much time they're going to give him. That's crazy. I just don't understand how a grown man with his own kids can see a pregnant woman with the gunshot wound to her head. And there's a baby that could still be saved. Remember, he should be charged with the murder of the baby, if anything. He could have saved that baby, so he should get manslaughter at the very least. I think there's maybe a time period after that baby could survive. I'm assuming, maybe 10, 15 minutes? Maybe more, I'm not sure.
Surveilled them. And I tell you, the joke was, oh my gosh, we're going over to Coffin Daffers. That's the FBI mom. Look out. And I can't tell you how many times I had the ear.
Sylvia, that makes perfect sense. Now, let's go to this comment. Yes, the murderer probably drove off and called the father. That makes perfect sense. That seems like the only way that he would have got away with it, right? If he pulls up and he's talking, maybe even jumps in the back seat, the driver being Matthew gets out, jumps in the back seats, talking with this person, and then maybe puts the gun to the back of her head first, as a threat. Like, I'll do it. I just don't know what was going on in that vehicle, what kind of evidence was there, but I do see that being a possibility. We know that Matthew was found in the back seat. So if they were both shot while Matthew was in the front seat and Savannah in the passenger seat, and the killer's in the back seat, I could see him getting out of the vehicle, taking the driver, and maybe this is where he had help, right? The car's just sitting in the driveway and they're both dead. Driver and the passenger from gunshot wounds. The father comes home, takes the driver out of the driver's seat and puts him in the back seat. Maybe that was his role, moving him from the driver's seat to the back seat. And then telling his son what to do and meeting him, telling him just dump the vehicle over here. And maybe that's all his role was. Helping to move the body. And meeting his son and wiping down the fingerprints and things like that.
Ear, the cup on the ear up against my son's, and there'd be a girl in there. And I'd like open the door, get out of here. So I think it really takes that close, that close looking out for and knowing what your children are doing.
It does. No, I mean, bravo to you both. Knowing what your kids are doing, that surveillance, and and the way you do it. Like Corey said, I love dropping some money in the door so that they open it. Dad was here. He's looking at what's going on. It's good for them to know and keep them close. And I love what you said there, Jennifer. Strike.
Can't walk in fat in San Antonio. Man, telling you, us Mexicans eating all them damn homemade tortillas. They're too good with chili. That's how you get that belly. Tacos and tortillas. And a lot of beer. Sylvie says he probably drove into the apartments, called the father. They meet in the back. Father tells him, just leave it there. Yeah, so he comes home. He says, this is what I did. Like, how could you do this? You got to wipe down the vehicle and you got to dump it. Well, I need help moving the driver. Father helps him. They take Matthew, put him in the back seat. That's why he's found there. Takes the car seat out of the back seat, uses it to cover Savannah so nobody can see that there's a person there with a huge wound to their face. Would be an exit wound. I mean, we're talking about some real savagery here on both parts. Ramon and Christopher. Makes you kind of wonder how Ramon could have stomached that. Makes you wonder about his past and why Christopher was so comfortable to call him. Really makes me wonder. Pretty sure my dad would have choked me to death because that's what I would have done. You just killed a pregnant woman. How could you not? It's making my blood boil just thinking about it. CJK, wow, probably bail bond not high enough. More charges are forthcoming, they said this morning. I hope so. Because for the charges that he has, it shouldn't be very hard for him to bond out. But I would just like to know the details when he got there. How long was it before he knew his son had just killed an entire family? Boogies says the boyfriend sold literally anything you can think of. All right, we're going to go to a few more comments, guys, and then I'm going to get out of here. And members, I will see you later tonight. And if any of you members watching that won the giveaway, looks like 2 of the items have been shipped today. Let me see which ones. Oh, 3 orders. Sorry. It's not telling me which ones. So it looks like Derek, yours is on its way. Yeah, so 3 of them shipped out today, and the other one should ship out soon. So you guys should be getting your items very soon. So congrats again. Anthony says, dude that lived in my neighborhood met up for a deal, got in the back seat, and killed his dealer over $800 debt and take his money and drugs. Got a life sentence. Yeah, you'd be surprised. It's like at some point you're losing your grip on reality. Yeah, rest in peace, Fabian. And Savannah and Matthew. But most importantly, little Fabian. He didn't ask for this. Sylvia says candles are used by drug dealers for help in a good outcome. Well, they're not used by drug dealers. They're used by Catholics. Now, if anything's bothering you, or if you're worried, or safe travels, or you're getting ready to have a baby, light a candle. Usually it's a specific type of candle. One of the saints. But they are known to do that before committing crimes as well for protection and safety. So I know what you meant. The thought is maybe the mom tossed the towel and the dad and son just aren't involving her. Yeah, but why would she throw the towel? And inside the car are 2 dead bodies. Like, why would she even be in the car if she wasn't part of it? There's no reason for her to even be in the vehicle. but she's worried about her son. What's up, Joey? Me, you were on the street stealing drugs? Not me. I had a good friend, though. Guy that I grew up with. And we all had a lot of mutual friends. He started selling pot and making a lot of money. Then before you knew it, we had other friends who started selling pot, making a lot of money. Then they started beefing. They started fighting, and a lot of bad stuff happened. But I was not in the middle of it. That was a long time ago. Remember, I'm in my 40s. That was when I was a teenager and first year or two of my 20s. Mostly when I was a teenager. I think that's what it takes to be an accessory. Yeah, what do you think about that, Ruckus? I don't know if he's in here. He just likes to stop by and say hi sometimes. Periwinkle, the DA has to decide if they get charged with the baby's murder. They better. I mean, that baby was past his due date. I wonder if they knew something bad was going to happen and that's why they waited. Mustang. Something tells me he hears that often. I should not laugh, but you're cracking me up. The fat man is San Antonio. Yeah, I mean, that belly has a mind of its own. Got shot right behind the ear. Thought planned out. Tech Death says, I've been robbed at gunpoint. I got nervous and just laughed and smiled. Yeah, you never know how you're going to act. I had a friend who got robbed at the bus stop leaving my home a long time ago. I was a young guy, lived in an apartment in the middle of a real hood. You know, our car had been broken into like once a week, no stereos in any of the cars, just drug dealers and prostitutes everywhere. Well, he came out to visit me and took the bus. We were still young kids, you know, barely out of high school, going to college. And when he left, he was going to take the bus and he got robbed at the bus station. They didn't take anything because he put up a fight, but he thought he was going to die. And people were getting shot and, well, mostly stabbed right there, but we could hear gunshots all the time. You don't retire at the age of 65 from drug dealing. It just doesn't work that way. Now, you're either in jail or dead. And he was saying within 5 years. All right, guys, that is all my time. Members, don't forget, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We're going to get together to discuss the case of Jordan Sofer and the possible connection to the double homicide out of Delphi, Indiana, of Abby and Libby. We're going to talk about a possible connection to both those cases and why I think there could be. Thank you, Lynn. We are out of time. Sylvia, great comments. A killer quickly tossed the baby car seat on Savannah to get Matthew out of the car. Yep. And to cover her. Put it right on top of her. You'll cover her. Nobody will see her. They'll think it's just a car seat. And maybe even buckle it in over the top of her. Pants came off. And I don't know if his pants were off or not. There was a lot of weird rumors saying he was tortured and all this weird stuff. So I don't know if that's the case. But yeah, just pulling him into the car. Maybe somebody pushing from one end and somebody has the other door open and they're pulling would easily slide the pants down a little bit. Shout out to Sensei with the super sticker. Thank you, guys. Sorry I missed that. And Jerry, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Never a scrub. All right, let's go to one more comment. Shout out to everybody who caught the live stream. If you're part of that replay crew, drop a comment. Let us know what you think about the recent arrest of Ramon Preciado and Christopher Preciado, father and son. Christopher, 19, arrested for murder. And his father, Ramon, arrested for tampering with a corpse, I believe. He basically helped move and stage the crime scene. All right, guys, I am out of here. Have a great day. Members, I'll see you in a little bit. And everybody else, I'll catch you very soon. Peace out.